Hi all, welcome back. Enemy Action Kharkov, Soviet Solo, Take 2, Part 80. Okay, wasn't sure I had much left in me this evening. Bit weary to be honest, so wasn't going to press record, but yeah, thought I would try and get the turn started. Since that last part was, oh yeah, I meant to add a little. Well, actually, I've not quite uploaded it yet. Although it's not a part I really need to review, so yeah, I will need to add a little bit in the header just to say it's not got any gameplay at all. Like it's just a fix and whatever. Okay, so yeah, a couple of things to mention. John Butterfield's been on the scene this evening and commented to my question regarding the von Mansfield card, Manstein, not Mansfield, so I had to try and find the card. Sorry, Eric von Manstein. About when it says after completing this activation conduct another German impulse. He does say that, right, hang on. Right, sorry, one of the usual moments, 1 minute 27 seconds and I get called for something. So Eric von Manstein, yes. After completing this activation, conduct another German impulse. John Butterfield does confirm that. I mean, I know. I probably didn't need to ask the question. Probably why Martin didn't bother making any comment. Thought, right, Grant. I was trying to clutch at straws, trying to get myself out of one, because things have been rough. So yes, you would conduct an German impulse even if the German command deck is empty. He did also mention, I've not got the post up in front of me, that if the card was carried out the event or didn't do anything at all, I think it was that, you wouldn't conduct another German impulse. Of course, if you didn't do anything at all, you would conduct another card draw, but I guess what he's meaning by that is it wouldn't trigger another German impulse. Mate, I better be sure about this. Hang on. Okay, yes, just what I said. If the event is carried out on the card, or if you can find no command at all to carry out on the card, it doesn't conduct a German impulse. It's only when it's an activation on the card. And just to remind you all, yeah. So if it's the activate all German units part of the card, it would, no matter if there's any cards left in the command deck or not, you would just shuffle them up and start another one. But if the two events at the top, or if you found nothing to do on the card, it would not trigger that extra impulse. But like I say, if you found nothing to do on the card, you'd be drawing another card. But I suppose you still need to consider it wouldn't sort of sit there and there'd be another impulse on the stack waiting to happen, if you like. Okay, and he also replied to my join attack question, which Martin was convinced eventually, well, I say eventually not, I'm not sure. I think once he saw the video footage, it was about, active unit. Probably need could do with a major offensive card, couldn't we? Just to remind ourselves of that one. Let's just chuck that up there quickly. Yeah, I'm going to be shuffling the cards up anyway. And yeah, it was where you're gathering a lot of active units. We've got a bunch of active units. And we find out the situation's satisfied. We then move into the action. We move them all to it, but we then can also non-active proximate units in the Leeds units army can join the attack. And it was about how you went about sending them into the attack, into the battle, or moving them all, and in what order. And John did confirm. I can't quite stretch over to that to see the exact wording, but if you look at my post, you'll get the exact wording. But basically, it was as we finally decided that active units would, well, the lead unit would move first, then all active units in ascending order would then move towards the target, and then any non-active proximate units in the lead unit's army would join the attack in ascending order. Yeah, and then he's also added at the back, you've got to take count of stacking restrictions would apply, and also he's added at the bottom that the units could only join in that one attack. So that's quite interesting. I mean, I would have thought that, but maybe these things need to be written in there. You know, if you thought, well, actually no, that is a fair point, because the units are non-active, aren't they? Then again, I want to say what reinforced battle units and assault coordination units. Pretty sure they can only join in one battle as well, can't they? Oh, let's not go there just now. Anyway, so it was good to get that clarified. Oh, and I forgot about the von Manstein card. John did pick up on the fact that there should be a rat saying that it should be end of, no, sorry, it's not on the card, is it? It's within the rulebook regarding, it says end of day rather than end of turn, but anyway. So yeah, so good to get the things out of the way. Now, a little surprise whether John, I don't know when he posted that, was it an hour ago? It was a couple of hours ago. I thought he might have had a look at Martin's post. I don't know if I talked about that or not, but it was regarding the fact that I was right in the fact Martin was suggesting that it should have been, when you advance after combat, that you would consider units that have been in the attack that have not already advanced yet as units that were in the hex and had well, they hadn't advanced, but they were part of the calculation on the table that said, what was it? Advancing units already in hex. But I did point him to the rule in the rule book, and he was kind of like a bit, wow, okay, I've either missed that, forgot about it, or whatever. So he did agree with how it was put. However, he found it a bit strange that you could have units advancing in a strange kind of way that could, and he's put a post up about it on BGG, well worth a look. It does make a lot of sense, but because in some ways it doesn't make sense. Some of the things that you could get are a bit strange, a bit odd. So I was kind of hoping that somebody, I mean, there's no point me saying anything about that really, but I was hoping somebody might say something, and preferably Mr. Butterfield himself. But he might be able to take that on board, because it was quite detailed, Martin's post, and maybe we will get something to explain either why it's that way, or maybe to even say, oh, okay, it maybe shouldn't quite be that way. So we will see. Okay, Grant, let's try and start the turn at least, because I don't have that much time, like I said. Right, so what do we start with? This is turn 9, because we had a heavy mud turn 8. Yeah, this is turn 9. So we are in the reserve phase. So we deploy eligible German units already in the reserve box. So we've got a core Raus unit up there. So we're going to get that guy down. I'll just put him over beside where I put the other guys, and we'll get on with that. Let's hope it doesn't take as long as deploying that third one the last time. Yeah, I did add additional bit to the header to, like, although whether folk had started watching it, but then maybe I never noticed, to say that, you know, I'd be curious to know how long it took people to decide. You know, if you looked at it, how long would it have took you to deploy that third unit? Because it took me ages to make my decision. And that's not to say it wouldn't take some of you like any time at all, but yeah, it took a long time, didn't it? And yeah, these are the numbers I wanted to keep in mind. 69 and 76, I remember now. Okay, so we're going to deploy this guy. Yeah, I'm a bit worried that, about going through this again, but here we go. So, yeah, I mean, ideally we're looking for him to be within 3 of the core Raus unit. They've got to be in this army area, which is between these two lines. Soviet unit must be proximate. Actually, that could bring up something. Well, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's 7 into there. Infantry 1, 2, 3 breaking zone of control. Yeah, that doesn't work either. And then the infantry in there is 1, 2, 3 in there. Yeah, we're not proximate to that hex, I don't think. Yeah, and I don't think we're proximate to 69 either. So that's them up in there already. We're not, are we? Because this guy can't get very far either, because he's like 1, 2, 3 into here. 4, so that's as far as he can go. This guy's got to come through the woods. Well, in actual fact, there's no gap now. This infantry has got to back up into the woods, which is 3. In fact, he can only go there. And this has got to come through the woods, breaking zone of control. Yeah, in fact, there's no gap there either. Sorry. Yeah, okay. So the hexes aren't available. Okay. Right, well, let me go and have a look, and you can look at that picture and pick your own choice for where this unit's going to go. I'll just pause for now and take my time. Okay, interesting. I went right through the criteria there and was looking back down at this hex. These weren't this one, and oh wait a minute. No, he's too far away. He's not 3 away. I'm looking 3 from the core. And I thought, well, 58 is the lowest number, and I thought, well, we visited this before. However, things have changed. These units are locked up. So I don't believe that this is a dangerous round, whereas I think it was the last time. Was it? 1, 2, 3, 4 into there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 into there. Yeah, that was that. So it stopped then. But then it got me thinking as I was looking through the preferences. Hex that removes dangerous round from an German unit or enables an German unit to trade supply. And then I remembered that we had wrongly, when we had made the mistake in the initial placement of these guys, decided that this was going to break dangerous round on this guy, because at the moment this guy is still in dangerous round. This unit can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and this unit can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, surrounded. And we sort of had our blinkers up and weren't considering this side of things when we done this initially, and thought that by placing the unit there, which I'll just chuck them in there just now, that would remove dangerous round from there. And admittedly, it does stop this unit from going out and in. So this guy can't go anywhere, he can't move. He can move that way. He's not completely surrounded, but he can't move that way. And although this unit can go out and in, there's no surround. The unit has an out hex into here. And before, that wasn't an option because these guys were able to move. However, we've deployed this guy now into that place, so I believe that could be a priority that needs to be considered before we get to lowest position number, for instance, because now this unit's not in dangerous round. Okay, let me just look at that one and let's just double check that one then. Yeah, he's fine. He's proximate. There's a Soviet unit proximate. You can trace reserve supply. He's outside Soviet support, so we don't need to check for dangerous surround. And in fact, yeah, it doesn't get to that because preferences are VP hex, within 3 hexes of a unit in the same core he is. And then C, a hex that removes dangerous surround from another German unit. Well, him going there removes dangerous surround from that unit now. Okay, hang on. I don't think this is causing any trouble, but I'm just looking at these units, and I've been breaking zone of control by moving into there for 2. There's nothing to stop me from moving into here for 2, 3, either 4 there or 4 there. I don't think it's causing any issue, but another one of the things I've for some reason not wanting to be moving into that hex, which is our own town. Yeah, I don't think it's affected anything. Let's hope not. Yeah, I should have added to that post about, like, see how quick you can find how you get this unit deployed right, but also with the assumption that I've actually got things right this time, because that's it's possible that's not the case. Yeah. This is why I maybe didn't want to press record tonight. I have had a couple of drinks and I'm a bit tired as well, so it's maybe not the best. But it was really just to get the turn started rather than do any play. But I was forgetting there's only this one unit I'm deploying, so surely I can't screw that up. Well, I think so. I think he is breaking dangerous around from that unit by going there, and he's not breaking any other restrictions himself, I don't believe. And for that matter, if we moved on to the next step, he wouldn't be in dangerous round. However, if we moved on to the last step, it would be lowest position number. So that would actually come down to, I think, here, 58, because I think that's a legal placement as well. Now, the fact that these units are locked in. But this does... Oh. Wow. Look at that. My words there were going to be... You could probably tell what my words were going to be. My words were going to be that this, placing a unit here, does not remove dangerous round from that unit. Well, hello Grant, have another think about it. It's this unit that's coming out and in to do half of the surround. Well, let's change this thinking. I mean, that surrounds as well. Well, not that that's part of any criteria. Well, not criteria. It's not part of a preference. So let's just say that unit goes there instead, because between these two, if they both remove dangerous around, the thing could be, is he in dangerous around himself? I don't think so. Because now this unit would have to go around here, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. You could get in here. The guy's going to have an out hex here. And I don't think there's anything else that can come from elsewhere, because we've locked this. I mean, when this was not here, 1, 2, 3, 4, obviously we could get to here and cause trouble, but we can't, and we know that this guy coming around through the woods is not going to work either. But that also removes dangerous round from that unit. Does it? Yeah, because I don't think... No, because we can't get in there. So... Yeah, his out hex is there, I think, because this guy's got to go 1, 2, And then all he can do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the most he can do. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that doesn't help. That's getting there. But the units are now tied in. These can't come around. Yeah, it does. That removes dangerous round as well. Wow, so glad I just I almost missed that. Oh, honestly. So easy to miss. That takes me back to, yeah, it would have been the same situation, thankfully, I think, because I never even considered this hex removing dangerous round from that unit. I only considered that hex at the time. But fortunately for myself, I think that's when these units could come and surround as well. Wow, okay. Yeah. So easy. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really the brightest guy in the world, admittedly. I mean, I'm not really smart or anything like that. I like the challenge of these games. I like to, but I mean, I'm not really, you know. Yeah, I'm just not. But I'd like to think I study these things and I try to get them right. Of course, it probably doesn't help when I generally like to have a beer or two when I'm playing my games. So that probably doesn't help as well. But yeah, without start putting other people down. I mean, I have watched other videos and, you know, everybody makes mistakes. We already talked about it recently. Mr. Butterfield himself showing that teach thing, made 2 or 3 little blunders himself within it. You know, he was maybe under possibly under some kind of pressure. He's recording it for people out there to come and like learn his game. But even still, you know, I think we can all kind of do it. But I know, I mean, I always knew I wasn't going to get everything right within my games. But what I didn't like within some of the people's recordings was, again, just the lack of respect for the game and the rules, and just getting things wrong and just not caring about it, and just like not even bothering to say anything, or not bothering to try to explain it or try to fix it or whatever. Anyway, but that's maybe just me. Right, anyway, we're going off on one here. This will be another part, well, it probably will be just the start. We might just turn that into a part, a late night episode to start turn 9. Okay, well, I like that hex better. Could we find anywhere else though? Any more takers? Well, that is 58 though. Come on, Grant. So that's a low position as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just checking for reserve supply. Yes. Soviet unit would be approximate. Yes. Unit would not be well. He's still outside the support line, so we don't care about that as of yet. It's not adjacent to German unit. And qualifying positions. VP hex. No. Within 3 hex of your unit in the same core. Yes. Removes dangerous round from our German unit. Yes. And if we wanted to move on, because we should move on, because these can both do that. The removed dangerous round. D is not in danger of surround. So neither of these hexes would be in danger of surround. Okay, even though they're outside the support, this is one of the preferences, neither of them would be in danger of surround. No. So then we move on. Preference E, not map edge hex, well neither of them are that. And then F, lowest position numbers, and this is 58. Right, okay, we're done. We're going with that. Wow. So easy to just... Yeah. How many times have I done that? I've been set in my ways. I've been certain, you know. I mean, yeah, I made 100% comment recently. I think Martin made some comment about the fact Yeah, 100%. What did I say? 100%. I said that's a lot, Grant. Anyway, yeah, I'm still not saying 100% about that. But I mean, I was pretty confident that that was right, and now there you go. Okay, let's go on. Let's move on. Right. Okay, so next step 2 of the reserve phase would allow me to deploy my reserves if they've got a game turn two earlier than the current turn. We're on game turn 9, this is 8, so I wouldn't get these. I would get these for free next turn if they're still sitting there. So that's that. And then transfer all units from the current game turn calendar space to the reserve box. Well, I'll just let you glance at that. There's nothing for us, but you can see there's some German reserves. Oh goody. Okay, so there we go. There's three strength armoured units for 57 core, and another infantry, 4 strength infantry for core raus. And just while we're up that neck of the woods, the game turn, the calendar's a bit clearer now. We can have a look. So we've got a frozen game turn, which doesn't affect things. Soviet supplementals go back to 7, where in that turn there we had 6, but we weren't able to do anything with it. Fixed artillery range has jumped up to 7, so it's quite far now. To get a German operational victory, we need we would have to have less than 16. We're sitting at 20, but well, without this support, I don't know. I could see that being a threat. Greater than 23 for a Soviet operational victory. Yeah, good luck with that one, I think. I think we need to be getting, well, I suppose what we need to try and do is get back to 21 points, but I think that's going to be a tough challenge as it is. Because if we can get back to 21, then the next check on our support would then extend us out to the western support line again. But yeah, I'm not so sure. We're going to have to really step back and keep what we've got, and possibly, I think, well, I've said already, this is probably our best chance. I mean, the victory points we've lost, well, no, I don't know. I think the one that we lost away up, pretty sure it was just 2 we lost. This one, I think we can forget about, showing what's around there. The other one was here, wasn't it? Now that doesn't look so protected, but the units that we've got are around Kharkov, so we can't exactly sort of say, well, let's go, you know. So yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to start thinking about trying to do. And then these 2, and then of course, yeah, I shouldn't forget that this guy's just about to go out of supply, and loses that victory point too, which takes us down to 19. So I think a huge thing is to try and get supply for this guy, and with that, maybe take this VP Hex back again, and well, but there's still a force round about there. I mean, yeah, that's not going to be easy, and they're also going to be threatening this city and this city. Yeah, it's going to be a tough turn, so it really is. I think, and all these areas that I'm talking about, I mean, yeah, all the areas that I'm talking about are going to be outside Soviet support. I mean, I think any cards that we draw that say put a support marker down, and we're only allowed to put 2 down, I think any of them that come up, they're going to be like, I'm going to be looking at that straight away, you know, to say let's get support in that area. Yeah, I think that sounds like a wise choice. Okay, let's move on. So we've done that. So card preparation phase, okay. Right, so the cards are in a different state to what they usually are, so let's go through the steps. So, place Soviet reinforcement cards, there's none of them. Shuffle available supplemental cards. So that is the mall. That was because of the mud turn, and I'll get these shuffled up. So that's him shuffled up. Now we draw the supplemental, which is on the calendar. It is 7 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it leaves 9, 9 available, and that's right because 7 again would leave 2. But you can see that's totally mixed things up because we had a really good chance that that we were getting Stavka, Vornes front and Southwest front back, but now it's a total random deal, isn't it? We might end up with the same 7 cards as we had in the last impulse, the last impulse that we had, yeah. Right, sorry, I got a text message there. You might have heard it because I didn't have my phone on silent. And hopefully, after I get that new phone set up, we might be doing away with that nonsense. I suppose it depends what I want to do with the phone and whatever, but anyway. Right, so next step 3 is place supplemental discards from previous game turn face down in available supplemental cards box. Well, there's none because of that mud turn, the heavy mud turn in between. So, and then 4, place primary cards from previous game turn face down in draw pile. So that is our 6 primaries, just checking there is 6 in the primary, so they go down in there. We're now going to shuffle the draw pile and draw 5 cards for my hand for this turn. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, that's my hand drawn, 5 cards. We've got 8 cards left in our draw pile. I haven't looked at my cards yet, but right, and then let's just sort the German cards out. Nice and simple now, we're going to shuffle all this up and we're going to shuffle all that up and create 2 new decks. Okay, in saying that, I know there wasn't any cards to be added, but it is possible there's something to be removed maybe. So let's have a look. 3 plus, 6 plus, 3 plus, 5 plus, all 4 plus. Yeah, no, I was right. Right, there's nothing to be removed. I had a feeling that was the case, so it must have been this last turn. So I'm going to shuffle all of these up and create a new action deck. Right, so there we go, that's us done with the card phase. So supply phase, determine supply status of German units and then Soviet units. Remove out of supply and isolate markers from units now in supply. And then step 2 is place out a supply marker on unsupplied unit if already out supply. Place an isolated marker if already isolated. Remove a step, 14.34, which we're going to have to be looking at shortly, sadly. Okay, so I'm doing. I'll just move these out of the way. That's my hand. Let's say I've not had a look at it yet, but so might as well look at these guys first. Yeah, but we are meant to check German units first. So, so supply for German units. Well, he's on a map edge anyway, and he's close enough to it, and he can go that way. He can go that way. He can come down here. He can come down here. Oh, have we got somebody? Probably unlikely. There'll be a way out, no doubt. Well, before I look at them, these 2 are alright. These can go off, that can go off, that can go off that way, that can go into there and then away. So let's look at this guy then. So 7 hexes from where he is. Well, you need to go 1 into there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's not. You can go on. This road works now, isn't it? I knew there'd be a way out for him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 onto this road. Then it goes along there, and then it goes up here, and then it goes up here, and then it goes back along here, and yeah, whatever. Right, so nothing doing. These guys are alright, they can go onto this road as well. Might as well just look at this guy while we're down here. Well, I know he's going to be good now, because he can just go onto this road. Well, yeah, that's the reason he's not out of supply anymore, because that got removed. That was one of the things he did do in the mud turn. So he's still obviously able to trade supply, so that's fine. Right, let's look further up. No issues there. Fine here. Fine here. This guy in here. Seem to remember talking about him when he was going in there, that there was nothing to stop him going out of supply, but I think he's okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, he gets onto this road and he's fine. Yeah, no issues, no issues, no issues. These guys up the top are fine. And then just the Rouse units to finish. Now they can trace off this edge, so he's fine. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you have to be able to trace reserve supply when he got deployed, as did this. That was fine. And then, of course, he went there to give this guy a supply trace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's good, so he's fine. And then this guy, well, had to be able to trace reserve supply, but he can just trace supply off of this map edge hex as well. No problems at all for the Germans. And that's why the AI is brilliant. And Grant's not so brilliant. Okay. Right, well, we just deal with the isolated guy while we're up here. Might as well. He's looking rather isolated. Oh, he's got a Rouse unit close by, but... Okay, so that is 14.34, did this say? So let's look that one up. It just seems to be that he just takes his debt loss and there's nothing we can do. 14.34, right, that is not a rule in this game, so it's a misprint again, I think. Isolated surrender, 14.23. An already isolated unit or stack of units that can't trace supply during the supply phase continues to suffer all the effects of being isolated. In addition, if Soviet, you must remove one step from the isolated unit or stack. That's it. And if it was his last step, if it was his last step, he would then become, he's a 3-stepper. Yeah, that was a thing. I put him up there and was like, what's his 66? And I thought he's one of the strongest units in the game, but it was an opportunity at the time to grab 2 victory points, wasn't it? So he takes step loss and stays isolated, and we could just double check. Excuse me, I suppose, but we've looked at it all already, haven't we? I mean, there's no way he can come down here. This is all blocked. So his way out was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 onto the road here. And you know what? Mr. Rouse here has said, no, you're not even getting that far. My. Oh dear. I'm worried about this game. This game's going all to pot, isn't it? I mean, it felt pretty good, but I don't know. Like, I know a lot of you have played the game probably 3 or 4 times now, but you can see how long it takes me to play a game. And just because I'm recording this, okay, it would take this, with recording it does take me a bit longer, but not that much longer really, because this is how I play my games. I like to get my money's worth, I guess. I mean, it's an expensive game, so. Not that I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. A lot of people maybe do. You hear a lot of people bumping their gums about the fact that it's overpriced and whatever. I don't feel that. I guess it all matters to what you get out of it, you know what I mean? If it's a game that you have a wee tinker about with and maybe play once or twice and then put it back and put it away, then maybe, but you know, that's it's not going to be. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to move from this onto the German solo. I don't know. I'm worried about burning myself out a little bit. I can see this next turn starting to grind me a bit, because I mean that turn was bad enough there. But it was still fun. I mean, activating the AI for me is fun. I enjoy it. But I just feel like they're going to be beating me down even more, and I might start feeling a bit weary about it. But I'm not going to go this far and chuck the towel in, that's for sure. I think I'm past the stage of that now. I felt like it a couple of times in my previous playthroughs maybe, but maybe I got some encouragement to keep it going. So yeah. Right, so that's the isolated unit dealt with. So let's look at the rest of our guys then. Yeah, I mean, even this guy is probably in trouble. I'll tell you what, Grant, you better get a lot of these out of supply markers ready. Where are they? Out of supply, the pink ones, right. I think we're going to need quite a few of them. Okay, well, let's look at this 40th Army unit to start with. I mean, this is a German map edge hex. He can trace around and down to this road, but as I've just said, that's blocked off. This is blocked off here anyway. Hang on, zoom out a little bit. You probably need a bit bigger picture with this anyway. It's blocked off here anyway. So can he get through? There's no gap through there. So he has to go. Well, he can't go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's one hex short of reaching there, and that would be a supply trace for him. Yeah, there's no other way, Grant. There's not a gap into here. Whether that's not going to help you either. There's so many units going out of supply here. It's just silly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One short. 1, 2, can't get through there. Yeah, look, let's stop messing about. He's out of supply. These guys will be able to get down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this road, so they're fine. These guys are surrounded, so no. Hey, wait a minute. Calm down, Grant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're good. Okay, because they can trace through that guy. Okay. Across here then. No, I'm looking around this side seeing if there's a way. There's not. Right. First of all, let's get the no-brainers out of the way. He's surrounded and does not have a friendly unit adjacent that could get him out of supply, enable him to trace supply. The other two stats there's no gap through here. There's no gap through here. They're done. They're done. They can't even go in this way. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, even if I was to have got onto that road there, look, there's a German unit just waiting for you. Well, actually, there's one there as well, and there. But you know, although I'm tracing down into a Soviet unit, there's German units blocking the road. Yeah. You know what? I brought out 2, 4, 6, 8. I brought out 11 out of supply markers there. Do you think I've got enough? Okay, so he's out of supply. This is annoying as well because I might find a counter to put on top of them. I think I remember doing that before, the wee black counters. I think when there's that many of them. He's out of supply. Right, let's move down a bit. Well, this guy is surrounded, but he's got a friendly unit adjacent. However, he's surrounded as well, and there's no friendly unit adjacent there. So, see you later, guys. Okay. Okay, these guys are fine. Great, Grant, great. That's what fact. This Rouse unit's actually blocking these two roads here as well. But 1, 2, 3, 4. We got onto this road. Yeah, they're okay. Okay, let's look further down. I've got 4 out of supply markers left from my 11 that I just drew. Right, this guy's okay. Right, it shouldn't be quite so bad here, but it's not. This guy can go 1. Now he needs to go off at a road though. So 1, yeah, it's fine though. He goes 1, 2, and then he's on the road. Yeah, I think most of these are fine. This guy's not, is he? These are fine. These are surrounded and don't have friendly unit adjacent. This one's fine, can trace into here and off. This one's surrounded, but he's got a friendly unit adjacent, so can trace in here. These guys can go 1, 2, 3 onto this road. And then remember, this can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 onto the road and off. So he can do the same. He can do the same. So they're okay. And then finally, this guy cannot trace supply. Yeah. Yeah, no, can't. And I think when that happens, right, I had 2 markers left over then, so I used 9 of them. That wasn't bad. And I think when that happens, I lose the victory point. In a sec. So page 41, 17.1 Soviet victory points. Map heads VP hexes. Last sentence. You lose those victory points if the hex becomes unoccupied by Soviet units. Well, it's not. Or if during a subsequent supply phase the Soviet units in that hex can't trace supply. So that's the end of that victory point. That's us down to 19. Yeah, scary stuff. Right, I think that's everybody. Horrible. Well, yeah. You can take from looking up there that you know what you should be. You know, my next game's going to say, yeah. I mean, what are these units doing up here? Well, I suppose I stretched up to get that victory point. I don't think we go for that anymore, and I think we bring these down. I mean, yeah. The other thing is, I don't know. You've got to try and get the victory points, haven't you? Right. Anyway, Grant. Right, so supply phase. Right, and here we go. 8+ determines Soviet support line in use this turn. So, it's 14. Where's it? Right, Western and Eastern Soviet support lines. On turn 8 onwards. Right, we're on turn 9. So starting again turn 8, the Eastern support line is used throughout any game turn in which the Soviets start the turn with less than 21 victory points. So that loss of that extra victory point did count before this check as well. So even if we'd been sitting at 21 there, we would have lost that one down to 20. So we are now, our support line is now the old artillery barrage line. Any unit outside that area is not in support. That's horrible. That is horrible. You know, there's what's saying you can't replace units. It's just going to be there. Okay. Well, that's us. That's us in the command phase. Germans get to start first from turn 7 onwards. So it's going to be a German impulse to kick things off. Yeah, well, at least we don't have a choice of what's happening first impulse. It's going to be them that's going to dictate that. What we can do is have a look at our hand, I suppose. So here we go. 3rd Tank Army, Mobile Group Popov, Primary, 40th Army. So good looking cards. 69th Army, Primary, and 6th Army. Well, that's a nice balance, isn't it? Looking for event forward support markers. There's one in the Popov, one in the 6th Army. Got air supply in the 69th Army, which might well be tempting. There's a lot to think about. I mean, this assigned replacement point card, well, we've got 1, 2, 3 of them. Apart from this one, my guess would be the rest are going to be outside Soviet support anyway. Sorry, the 40th Army and the 3rd Tank Army, the units are not going to be eligible to replace a point because they're going to be outside Soviet support. However, that's when these two cards, well actually that's a forward support as well, isn't it? I think if anything, Mobile Group Popov, we want to try and be aggressive on that side of things. You know, when I say aggressive, I have no idea. I'm really going to have to study things before I do my next impulse on them. It's worthwhile starting to think about it now. Should probably... I can't get the whole picture in, but look at... I could pan the camera across, maybe just when I'm going to my bed tonight, just have a look and try to work on what I might be wanting to try and do. I mean, the Germans are going to get attacked first anyway, like I say, so I'll just need to look and let them go on with it tomorrow, if I get a shot tomorrow. Yeah, I should do. But I want to be ready for doing something. I don't want to, once the Germans have had an impulse, sort of say, right, what the heck am I going to do? I need to start thinking about something. I have no idea what that something is. No idea. Not got a clue. But I suppose some things will start coming to me. But it looks like I made a bit of a mess of things up to now. I mean, we're still in the game. It's turn 9. Realistically though, I think, well, I want to get through this turn, so less than 16 points I would lose this turn. I would lose the game this turn. I'm at 19. Now, that's what I need to be thinking about, I think, because it could be quite easy for me to lose 3 points. Remember what's holding these 2 victory points up here? An isolated unit. And in fact, I mean, these guys, oh Jesus. I mean, it could well be my air supply on that unit. Could be something that I kind of need to do. Out of supply. What's the restrictions? Can they still attack? I'm forgetting them. If all units in combat are unsupplied, combat tactics can't be applied on their behalf. The Soviet may attack only if supplied. Unit also attacking. Okay, that's not so bad then. It's just that obviously we could mount an attack with the 40th Army on this guy and I don't know. Right, okay. Well, we'll come back tomorrow and work something out. Okay, I better get away from now. That's enough. And I'll put this together, and this will be just the start of the turn, really. So that'll be 2 parts with not really any gameplay, but I'll put a note in the header saying this is just the setup for turn 9, and we'll get back to the command phase, German impulse. First German impulse of turn 9 tomorrow sometime. Okay guys, cheers.